We're Robin and Steve. We left off in Silver Gull Creek. In this episode, we go about 150 nautical miles, cherishing our last waterfall experiences before crossing the King Sound to Cape Leveque, Beagle Bay and beyond, where it was humpback whale o'clock by the time we got there. Back at the spring-fed Silver Gull Creek, we had one last cooling dip in this tank built by yachties for yachties before setting off on the second half of a rising tide, mentally prepared for some tricky navigation.
It's only 2 metres now. You want to do at least up forward speed?
There's another rock and I'm a little not sure how to dodge it. Should be passing it soon. 2.5.
We made it in. Now, just the tricky matter of securing stern lines, allowing for the 11-metre tides. Take note of the access ladder and little waterfall for later. The access ladder leads us to this pool, which, at high tide, is connected to the salt water. Here at near high tide, you can see how our two stern lines combined with the anchor keep us in place. And believe it or not, this is where we just came in. And now at low tide, we can't get out. Why would you want to? And no one else can come in. At low tide, our boat backed onto a roaring waterfall. But at high tide, the waterfall completely disappeared and things were very quiet. A short climb above the saltwater pool was a perfect swimming hole fed by this crystal clear creek. This was the perfect place to bear witness to the 11-metre tides. If there was a tall waterfall at our stern, we knew that we had the place to ourselves and that no one else could get in. At low tide, we noticed that our anchor was just sitting on a pile of rocks. There, that should fix it. This was up there with the strangest anchorage ever. By now we had not shopped for a month, and our wheat bix had taken on a life form of their own.
I guess the eggs are still in the container, isn't it?
Luckily, we make excellent bread and are creative with the food that we do have. Here, we were endlessly entertained by the changing tides and how it affects the sounds and smells. of our home. Note that the 13-rung ladder is fully out of water. You can imagine how important it is to get the lengths of your stern lines correct before wandering upstream, where the state of the tide is no longer visible and where we can swim without risk of being eaten by crocodiles. This lizard, however, was here every day. At high tide, that 13-rung ladder is completely submerged, and our dinghy can float above where the waterfall was into the brackish pool. Now you can see why our stern lines had to be tied so high. And why swimming in the bottom pool is not recommended. You can also see that now our anchor is well and truly underwater, and that the roar of that waterfall at our stern is silent. On the left, you'll see our low tide waterfall astern. On the right, you'll see no waterfall. We spent a few blissful days here, relishing the waterfalls and waterholes while we had them. For after this, we leave gorges behind. But we still will be dealing with giant tides for some time. It felt like an enchanted playground here, all to ourselves. We never tired of this scenery, so I hope you don't, because here it is again. Thanks to the nearby mining industry, there's some fancy infrastructure here, like this fireplace, in which we burnt our cardboard. My sister sent me a viral dance video to that excellent 80s song, Take On Me. So I gave it a go on the first bit of flat ground I've seen in a long time. I'd gotten used to having a disappearing waterfall in the backyard. It's like the water feature I never knew I needed. After experiencing one more glorious tide cycle here, it would be time to go. We were low on fresh produce, and so, reluctantly, we descended the sometimes submerged ladder for the last time and waited for the tide to be high enough to untie our stern lines and pull up the anchor. And so, with heavy hearts, we bid farewell to Waterfalls. Thankfully, our next anchorage wasn't too ugly and featured an echo. Woo! Our next anchorage was at Silica Beach, famous for its white fine sand that squeaks. We weren't the only ones out for a day at the beach. Soon enough we had the anchorage to ourselves again. As we pulled up the anchor early the next morning, a rock came too. Not optimal. We were sometimes very fast, sometimes very slow when crossing King Sound. With its many islands, reefs, and overfalls, we had to concentrate. With our frozen and tinned goods, we made a trio of dips as we hooned along at under 2 knots, and then had wind against us, until the wind died altogether, just north of Cape Levique, with its beautiful red dunes. Next, it was off into thick currents again towards Beagle Bay. We celebrated our final pumpkin in the form of soup. Sadly, there was quite a bit of plastic debris on the beach, including this. We are now Batman and Robin. By morning, we were in a cloud. Finally, the fog cleared to reveal whales. Here, a humpback mother and calf. And other sea life, including this sea snake. Again, we awoke in a cloud. This time, when the curtain of fog lifted, jellyfish. Many. And whales, lots of them. And I'll leave you here with some humpback whales until next time, where there'll be more whales, a long trek to get vegetables, a trip to Sandfly Circus, and some horrible weather.